Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Well, welcome to everybody, wherever you may be around the world. Happy Labor Day 2023, and a happy day after my birthday, 2023. And I've got my beautiful bride here with me. Who are you?
D.
For those who are first timers, welcome. We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married for going on 40 years, or 38. Haven't had an argument over 36 years, and
That's because I'm so easy.
Yeah, that's right.
With.
Yeah.
So we thank you for joining us. This is Labor Day. Many people are on the road struggling to get back because the roads are really very crowded.
Well, maybe they got us on their mobile phone. Or if you got your mobile phone, let us know.
Well, if they're listening, we appreciate it.
So for those who don't know, yesterday, that's why the balloons are here in the background. Yesterday was my birthday, and had quite a celebration. My wife put it on for me. We had a bunch of people her brother came from Hampton, Virginia, and his son and his family. My grandson came from Durham, North Carolina, and we premiered the videos of my acceptance speech from receiving the Cavett Award, which is the highest award in the speaking industry, and very grateful. We got Don Moss on. I got to take a shout out right now. Aww. Just scoot to the side. This is food we got yesterday from Carolina Kitchen. We're getting ready. We had so much that we're gonna put some in the freezer.
Well, it was in the refrigerator. Okay, don't think it was sitting out.
No, it hadn't been out. So this we just pulled it out because we're gonna put it in little bags. And I love the collard greens from Carolina Kitchen. If you're ever in
so
DC,
we're gonna freeze them.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be his ongoing meal for the next month because I don't do that cooking.
She doesn't cook, but. So many people were just raving about the food. So if you're ever in DC, folks, make it a point to go to Carolina Kitchen.
And there were people from DC who had never heard of Carolina
That's
Kitchen.
right. And said it was some of the best food they have. So go to Carolina Kitchen. You will be blessed by the food, the hospitality, and welcome. So that's what we want to say to all of you today. Welcome. Now, let's talk about this situation that we are. First of all, before everybody knows, you can go to JolleyMarriage.com. Jolley Marriage. Plant-based coming soon. Great. We're going to love that, Miss Moss. JolleyMarriage.com. Go there and get a free chapter from the marriage book. And then if you get
communication,
the biggest chapter in the book is communication. And we give that chapter away free because that is probably the biggest thing that breaks up marriage. And now people, they cycle in on one thing. The other day you said it was differing goals were the biggest thing. No,
career goals.
Yeah, but the biggest thing all filters down.
But I think that is simply an offshoot of your careers are going in different directions because you're not talking about how to work together.
So communication.
So it still goes back
to sex, money, communication are the big three. And communication really deals with a lot of different things. The lack of communication can really impact.
It all stems from not listening more so than talking.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
That's communication.
Yeah, but that's not. I don't. You made more so than no. I don't think that's true. We're different.
I'm disagreeing with you.
We disagree on it. You got to talk for somebody to listen. Okay, no talking. People shut down.
Both people are listening.
They shut down. They stonewall. They eat the feelings.
But I think the key is to listen with the intent of figuring out what.
If they ain't saying nothing,
that is not a problem with you.
You can listen. You can listen. Sonny. They said nobody said no. Let's go back to
not a problem.
Sex, money, communication are the three big things that break up marriages. And of the three, the biggest is communication, because most of them stem from lack thereof. If you have a good communication, you have a better love life. You have good communication, you have
And
money,
see, now it
better
comes down
life.
to what is good communication.
Oh, then that's where you come in. You're right. Communication is two-part. It is the speaking and the listening. Some people speak and others and don't listen. Other people just listen and never speak. So it has to be a give and take. Okay.
I would agree with that.
Eddie Johnson said something last night. You weren't there. It was at the table. We were eating crabs last night outside.
That's because I was in here working.
I don't know that's true.
Yes.
You had people helping you work, but anyway, you were working.
I was not out there.
No, you were not out there for whatever reason.
Yes.
You did have people you were talking to.
Yes.
All right. So Eddie Johnson, who is 80 years old, has been married, I guess, close to 40 years. And he said this was the first time his wife has not been with him when he has come to our home. And he said it's so odd because she's in Rome with her sister. Her older sister, said, "I'm gonna give you a treat, a gift of a trip to Rome." So they're there till the 15th of the month. And he said, and he was telling the people around the table, one of the secrets. He said the secrets to successful marriage. He said, "I got married late, but when I'm married, sometimes I don't want to do what she wants me to do, but I do it anyway." He said the other night we were coming home. I was tired. We had been out all evening. And she said, "I want to go to Giant Food Store and get some groceries." He said, my mind said, "Can't we do that another time?" But he said, "Okay." He said, "It's a give and take. It's a compromise. It's open to giving what she wants and she getting what it's a give and take." And folks, that's where we have tried to share with couples. It's not my way the highway or my way all the way. You got to compromise. You got to give and take if you want your relationship to work. You have to do it. He said that this is a critical element. So today we're going to talk about.
He told me it was strange.
Yeah.
It's very strange because he has never been apart from his wife.
In 40 years.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And he said, and now I got to go home. So he got a plate of collard greens and jerk chicken. I said, all right, get enough for at least 5 days. Right. Freeze a little bag. So he got a doggy bag to take home with him to at least get him through the next. So
Don Moss, we were sharing your beautiful and wonderful food with the world. Okay, my friend Lance London, let me shout him out because he's the founder and owner of Carolina Kitchen. Don Moss is a vice president, and Bonita Bow and people we love. We love them truly. That's a shout out. We gave y'all a shout out, okay? Because we love y'all. All right, now let's talk about this.
Topic, quick, fast, and hairy.
So here's the situation. We get letters. If you have a letter, feel free.
It's not a letter, it's an email.
Well, every time I say that, but the letter comes through email. It's not an email. It's a letter that is delivered through email. It could come through the mail. It could come through snail mail. It could come through email, but it's a letter. Because you keep trying to correct me. It's not a letter. It's an email. It is a letter that is delivered. That's a delivery system.
If you want it to be delivery. It's a letter.
All right. Send us a letter.
See how it's okay.
All right. There you go. That's compromise. So send us a letter if you have an issue. We will not use your name. We will not identify. We will not identify you, so you can feel totally comfortable sending it, and we will address the issue. Now, email.
I may talk.
You may.
Thank you so much. Okay, the backstory. So we got this email. She had emailed a variety of people. Found us on from YouTube. Married 21 years. My husband took our 16-year-old daughter's soccer practice, and at the stoplights, he was texting
someone.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The 16-year-old
looked over.
Was reading the text.
She can see the text.
Yeah.
Look, your kids know how to see the text.
They
whatever.
Didn't say a word. When she gets back home, after practice, she's held this and tells her mom when she returns home what she read. Mm. And then the mom is off to pieces. and confronts her husband. He denies it initially, and then confesses that he's been having this affair for 4 years.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm angry, I'm ashamed, I'm confused, and I can't go to our pastor, for we are very active in our church. So I'm seeking ideas from any and everybody, even you from YouTube.
Wow.
Okay? So first, I feel so bad. That's just terrible. So my logical side says, I won't say what I would do to you.
The reason why I have never cheated on my wife, because I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm really scared.
So the logical right question to say that came to mind before I did some research, right?
Okay.
Psychological, all that studies and stuff. Some basic questions would be, if that happens, why'd you do it? Why? What caused you to do it? And do you want to stay married? Before we even get into let's run to the marriage counselor. Does he want to stay married? You might say, well, he's been doing it for 4 years and you didn't know, so maybe he wants to stay married. So what's the problem? What is the problem? Would you have continued the affair if my daughter had not outed you? Those are some questions. And then I would seek support. I would seek support. I wouldn't be embarrassed in the sense, I don't know what happened. I'd seek support. I'd go to my support system, which would be my pastor. That's where I would go. And I would ask for wise counsel, so I wouldn't have to sleep with
so he wouldn't have to sleep with both.
He wouldn't have to sleep with both eyes open, because it don't look good in both eyes open, because I don't look good in prison garb and I would be on the edge. And so I would need counseling, and get counseling on your own.
And for your child.
Absolutely. That was the next thing. And counseling for your child, because research does say that the child, and certainly she's reading this, child is as traumatized as the parent coming out of this, not knowing, no clue. And sometimes the children blame themselves. So therapists warn that kids should never be pushed to take sides when this happens, and that they are as traumatized, or often more so than the spouse. Because sometimes the spouse might have inclinations and not want to face the fact that there's something going on in the relationship. But the child needs counseling. The whole family needs counseling. And then it comes down to the different kind of counseling, and whether or not you want the one who is in the affair, whether or not they want the marriage to continue. Now here's an interesting thing. An interesting side note.
There's a question here by ATR B Moore. I'm gonna give you some advice for newlyweds in a moment. Okay. And then Ms. Moss, I don't know if anybody from your connection is on tonight, but if they are, we'll give them the same advice who are having some challenges. I'm gonna give you some advice. Okay.
An interesting note here that I read. Men, when there's infidelity, and the infidelity is by the wife, men are more upset if it's the physical infidelity. Wives are more upset if the man's infidelity is emotional. Isn't that interesting? Remember, we talked about the different kinds of infidelity. Is not just the sex act, but
it's having people, what they call workplace marriages and and
work spouses.
We've been through this some months ago now. If y'all look on YouTube, there was a show we did with a couple who we were coaching. We don't counsel, but we do coach, where the husband had an emotional affair with a woman other than his wife, where he told her, the other woman, all of his dreams and goals and aspirations, because his wife wasn't listening. But the wife wanted this woman out of his life, and he said no. and he would meet and have conversations with her, and got real ugly. And we gave him some good counsel. Anyway, go ahead, P.
Okay, that's it. You can do your side.
So she's expressed. Well, what do you recommend for this? Okay, what do you do for the couple? Now you talked about the kids. Well,
I'm saying.
What did you say? You told me you had 2 points you want to discuss. I said don't discuss them now. Wait for the show.
Okay, very simple and straightforward, which is what I said in my explanation. Number one, I want to know why. I would ask why.
Okay.
Why did it happen?
And maybe he will say something.
I don't know.
I'm just giving you some possibilities.
Why did you do this?
He might be saying, more the merrier.
And then, okay, so why did you do
I wasn't being satisfied at home. Or you weren't.
Okay, so now you know.
Then you know.
Okay. And would you have come forward with this information if you had not been outed? I would want to know that.
Well, let me answer that. No, he wouldn't. I can tell you right now, no, he ain't gonna come out and say, "Oh, baby, let me tell you, I've been having an affair for 4 years. Just want to let you know that ain't happening."
Oh, all right, dear.
That ain't happening. Okay. So that answers that question. Now we could debate about the first one, but the second one.
Okay. So depending upon then the question of, do you want to save the marriage?
Now that's a big question. And there are some shows. I will remain nameless. Who will remain nameless? Who their only solution when you have a problem, their only solution is leave him. Just leave him. Get a divorce.
Divorce is complicated. You still said we should have that divorce lawyer or who
we got to have
different kind of perspective, and it is cheaper to keep it for a variety of reasons, like half of your retirement. So
let's go back to first. I'm gonna deal with that point first before I tell you the rest of it.
Okay.
So the last point I just said about leave him and just divorce him.
Oh.
So folks, I'm gonna say this to you. Some of y'all it's gonna hurt and it's gonna hit hard and it's gonna be painful. But I'm gonna say it to you. When you got married, 99% of you took a vow that was traditional.
You don't know 99%.
Most people, very few write their vows, but some do. That's why I gave them a little bit of latitude. Okay. But 99% of people say, I'm going to take you for richer, for poor, for in sickness or health, for better or for worse. That's what they say. I promise I'll take you for richer,
so
poor.
They're making a commitment.
They're making a commitment. No. They're making a promise. Okay. So, what's better and what's worse? What's worse? Infidelity is worse. It's bad. But you said, I'll take you for richer, for poor.
In sickness and in health.
Sickness and health, for better or worse.
So death us do
and
part.
Death I do. Now, I say
with
that
both eyes open.
And I say that to say, we've had couples who we've coached who had infidelity issues, who fixed it. That takes rebuilding trust, but I
think that's the key.
Yeah, that's
the key is the trust.
But I want to say that the easy out is divorce them,
which is really not easy.
It's not easy because it really isn't. Okay, I had a guy who told me one time. Obviously, I've never been divorced. This is my first and only wife. Unless she dies, okay? She dies, I can't tell you what happened after that. But if she died, I told her, as long as you live, and you're gonna be married to me. Now, if you want to get out of this marriage, you have an out, die. Okay, you die, you're good to go. Other than that, we together. Okay, now that said, he said he and his wife made a decision amicably, a joint decision to divorce. He said even then, it was like somebody pulled the floor out from under him.
What did I read about? In most cases, one person initiates the divorce. And you're saying in this case, they both agreed?
They both agreed. It was not working. And he said, even then, it still was traumatic. Okay. Now, that's all I want to start with. So let's first go to that I don't want divorce to be the easy out. There's some work to be done. Second thing,
are you willing to do the work though?
Now that's the question. Are you willing to do the work? Now you asked a good question. Do they want to stay married? I don't know the answer. But why he did it, there could be a multitude of reasons. He might just be what was the word used? Loot. He might be a dog. A dog. He might just be a dog. Okay.
Or he might be like
a lout. That's what you said.
One of your who it's part of their culture.
There was a guy.
A woman on the side.
There was a guy I played golf with, and I went to play golf with him because his wife, newlywed wife, they've been married less than a year, and on his wedding weekend, or the next weekend, he had an affair with a woman. And he said it was just, that's how my daddy told me. I always have one on the side. They called what did Kevin Tony? Kevin Tony has a great book, former Blackbird, dear friend of mine, the original keyboard player for the Blackbirds, Walking in Rhythm. He wrote a book, The Men's Code. Go check it out. The Men's Code. He was out of Detroit. He said his father and his uncles all had women on the side. Your family had that. Kevin Tony, Toney. Okay. Great book, and you want to check him out.
And I had people in my family.
Yes.
Who had uncles who had a woman on the side.
Right. Mm-hmm. So,
and we knew about it.
All right. So if that's the men's code, then I had this conversation with this guy, and I told him that's not the way to do this. To have women on the side, it's just not good. And
it requires a lot of work.
It does. It does. It takes a lot of energy. So what I would say to this couple, here's my recommendation. Number one is you have to have open and honest conversation. Why did he do this? Okay, number two, which I thought was was good. Number two, they do have to have the conversation of how they can fix this. They need intent. Now, Kevin Tony. Now I'm going back to Kevin Tony. His wife found out he had been having affairs for 25 years.
Wow.
25 years. 25 when it was exposed. 25 years when she found out he had been having affairs. And they
was that the length of their marriage?
Almost, just about. Because he was a musician traveling. I had women in different ports and different cities. And
so he didn't bring diseases home?
Well, that's not even go there. He might have been.
Okay.
The bottom line is they fixed it. They're together now. They have a ministry healing marriages of infidelity.
Wow.
It's possible. Okay.
Wow.
So that's why I say it takes work. She did therapy. He did therapy. They did couples therapy. They did therapy with their daughter. It was healed, repaired, and they are doing great. So it's good. It's possible. Okay. Now let's see a couple.
There is hope.
Hope. Marvin Perry, success people in good marriages fight to remain happy and married. That's right. We all need to be encouraged to have a partner you can trust and remain with forever. I agree. Encourage people to stay together. Let's see. This couple would need to seek spiritual counseling. That's right. And Senior Terrence just joined. Senior Terrence, we're talking about, just so you know, a guy who was having an affair with his wife. His daughter read his text and discovered it and told his wife, and then it hit the fan. So what we want to encourage people to do is this. One, get counseling. Well, seek spiritual counseling. Go to your counselor. Pastor Jenkins has a book. He has a book, a series called, oh gosh, what's the name of the book? I have to find the name of the book. Constant Work, Olympia said. That's right. It's constant work. And
for couples who are going through
who going through the Rebuilder's Guide. The Rebuilder's Guide. You can look that up online. Again, we're not counselors. We're coaches, mentors. First thing we mentor you to do is get 2 copies of the book. Good, 2 copies. Now, let me jump over to from Zebulon, North Carolina. Thank you. Now, ATRB Moore. advice for newlyweds. Here's the advice for newlyweds. Get mentors. Get you some marriage mentors. We are marriage mentors. You can get us through our book. But if you got somebody in your city, in your church, in your community, get mentors who are happily
around people who are happily married. And what does that mean? You can observe. Do they hold hands when they're out together?
Right.
Do they smile when they look at each other? Do they sit close together?
And do they speak well of each other?
And do they speak well of each other when they're in their presence and when they're not in their presence?
That's right. That's right. Next thing is get mentors. And read our book. We're mentors. Then we'll get 2 copies. I recommend 2 copies, one for each of you at the end of each chapter. I told the groups, a married couple yesterday, at the end of each chapter, talk about it. And then if you're newlyweds, hold hands. And if you're newlyweds,
make God an equal part of your
go through the steps. Friends first, make God equal part of your marriage. Talk about everything and develop
especially those things that are uncomfortable, because you have to practice getting them out and actually saying it.
Right. And then if you're newlyweds, make a point that you actually, even though you have no children, or you might have children, who knows, but have a date night. Every couple needs a date night where you're intentional. Because see, newlyweds, they date all the time, but you're intentional about just the 2 of you. Now, if you got family, you can't talk about the kids and you can't talk about the bills. All you're going to focus on is you 2.
How was your day?
Yeah.
How was the week? What can I help you with?
Right. Talk to each other.
What's on your heart? I was feeling upset the other day. I don't really know why. Getting to simply know each other to the point where how they raise their eyebrows, their body language. So that date night gives you an opportunity to also to study.
Yep, each other.
Mate.
Yep.
Yes.
So do that. And then, folks, if you're newlyweds, you want to also, after you have marriage mentors and you have a date night, and you also want to make sure that you talk kind. If you have it, and watch our TED Talk. Everybody should watch our TED Talk, because we tell how to never ever argue again in marriage. And if you embrace these principles and embrace these tools, it'd be so much easier, so much sweeter, and so much nicer.
That's back to communication. And it's not just the words, it's how you say the words.
Yeah.
And some people are not aware that their voice tone, quality, and sometimes the actual words are abusive and offensive.
Right. Giving a shout out to Marriott Delray Beach. We were there. I give out shout outs every week. Last week was at High Point University. This week, Marriott folks, y'all give me a free night next time I come, okay?
Terrible.
All right.
Okay,
so
we're out.
Our time is up. We're over time. Okay, let's make sure we went through everything. On this situation where the husband had the affair, we want you to get Kevin Tony's book. If you're looking, Miss Marriage, Miss Wife, and you're upset, the Rebuilder's Guide, you get that online, and then get Kevin Tony's book, Breaking the Men's Code. I don't know why this husband did this. Maybe it's part of his culture. Maybe he was allowed.
But the reading of the materials will also just give you some insight, as well as to actually get counseling so you can talk to somebody, whether or not your mate is at the point where he wants to go to counseling with you or not.
Right. Whether you go get counseling. You go
and your daughter.
And for those in the Washington, D.C. area, we highly recommend Skip and Beverly Little, and they have a great class. Someone mentioned yesterday, Eric Burrow said it was so good, it should be franchised. He said that was so good. And he's been through it. So that's it. Okay. Hope y'all enjoyed this special Labor Day. Did y'all enjoy it? If we came on Labor Day, everybody said, y'all gonna cancel Labor Day, aren't you? I said, nope, we're gonna be there. We do this on Monday nights. We have not missed a Monday night in 4 years, 4 years, something like that, before the pandemic. So we have been doing this. We don't get paid for it. That's why we want you to go buy books. please go buy the book and get the stuff because of that.
Say goodnight.
Oh, no, I got to get some money up in here so we can keep doing this. Because if we don't have no money, they turn off the electricity, we turn off the lights, and we got nothing. So thank you for a great show, Brenda Colson. Thank you, Sherry Elliott. Thank you for those who wish me a happy birthday. I'm grateful for another birthday. Grateful for getting the Cabot Award. We premiered the movie of my acceptance speech. It'll be on social media later this week, so y'all watch out for it. Thank you, Ms. Borley, and your husband for coming, and your family, and little Reggie. And thank you all. Cute. Cutie pie. All right, we're going out with my music for my one-man show, which is going to start again in a few weeks. So we're going to do it again here in D.C. So here we go.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.